There's a lot of talk about being positive and not looking at the negative and just being comfortable and content and avoiding struggle. Just be positive. Just be positive. My story wasn't like that,
Good, Chuck.
and I'd like to share that story with you. This is how I found light in the pit of depression. In my late teens and early 20s, my depression was at an all-time low. I didn't feel accepted anywhere. I didn't feel liked by anybody. Everybody had groups of close friends, but I didn't. Everybody had an ear to hear their cares and worries, but I rarely did. And when I did try to actually open up, it would be too heavy for others and they would distance themselves from me. Nobody seemed to want me around at all, unless I was going against my inner wishes and being a fake version of myself to fit in better. This practice even routinely led to embarrassment for acting in ways or doing things that were outside of my true character. I would feel comfortable and start being myself more. The rejection would strike again. It got to the point where I had no purpose for living outside of scooters. I absolutely loved riding, but because it was a new thing at the time, I suffered quite a flood of insults and rejections, simply because I didn't pick a more popular, socially acceptable sport to engage in. It was seemingly the only thing I could ever do right, but it did not yield the acceptance I was craving in my heart. It got to the painful point where I used to wish that I would die at night in my sleep. I was never actively suicidal because I love life and the magic of this world. But I certainly did not want to exist feeling the way I did. So I took a rather passive approach to self-destruction. As strange as it sounds, when I did not die in my sleep as I wished for, I would wake up in the morning, see the ceiling in my room, and immediately be filled with rage that I would have to experience yet another day of feeling the way I did. This went on for quite some time. But in 2013, I finally had enough of it and felt led by my inner voice to search for ways to feel better. And that's when I discovered meditation and went all in on it as a last resort. Seeing the peace it brought to other people who practiced it gave me hope. In the beginning, sitting in the silence of my own thoughts would bring great pain. But rather than giving up, I kept pushing onward through the pain until one day I broke through to the other side and found clarity. My spirit returned to life. On that day, I felt bliss, contentment, and what I can only describe now as the pure love of the universe, God, whatever you call the life-giving force. It completely washed over me. In that moment, I was reborn from the ashes of my old shell. I still never felt truly connected in a meaningful way to anybody, but it didn't matter because I finally felt connected to myself and whatever this realm is that we find ourselves in. As an individual of extremes, I decided the best option was to go all in on this newfound peace. I decided it was best to engage in light meditation throughout the entire day, in all waking moments, and never allow my peace to leave me again. I fought hard for it. I learned that I can exist in the world, but not be of the world. That no matter what happened to me, how I control my reaction to the situation is ultimately what mattered to me. My own personal growth and development became my sole focus. As time passed, I was able to replace all the dark negative views, thoughts, and feelings with light feelings of being grateful to be alive and loving this existence more completely than ever before. I now see every breath as a gift. I use the peace I've gained to lift up others and give hope anywhere I can. Instead of allowing trials and tribulations to break me down, everything I went through strengthened me. And in this trial by fire, I learned many lessons. I've gained a vast insight and appreciation for all things. When I gave up on trying to be somebody else, I found myself and I found the spirit of life. Whatever magical force created this beautiful universe with its astounding glory and complexity, we are part of it, not separate from it. I learned to let go of control. I truly believe good things will come no matter what, and 'tis my surprise, they do. Somehow, some way outside of my own control. One of the biggest wishes in my life was to be a father of a son. And for a long time in my negative past, I never thought it would happen. But overcoming my struggles gave me the strength to see the future I find myself in now. I was gifted a life I never dreamed of having, with 2 amazing sons that exceed all my wishes or expectations. When I decided to drop overthinking and fear and worry, and I decided to listen to that small, still voice within, repeating that I should trust the universe, God, spirit of life, to have my back, it began to make its presence known more and more in my life. You don't know what's around the corner for you, but you have to hold on long enough to see it. Don't give up. Your peace could be right there on the other side of what you feel right now.